Welcome to Ninethie Gaming.
Hello one, hello all. Today's video topic is a concept I've been wanting to cover for some time, and recently I've seen a lot of confused theories and wacky statements in relation to the Fallout protagonist and who really is the strongest. There is, in my opinion, a very obvious answer to this. To avoid having an hour-long video, I'm going to try and do a comprehensive breakdown of each character on the list, the main lines anyway. There are a plethora of offshoot characters, like the Warrior from Tactics, I don't really have too much to say on, so including all of them would take too long. So for this video, I'm going to be covering the Vault Dweller, the Chosen One, the Lone Wanderer, the Courier, the Sole Survivor, and the Reclaimer. Some call them the Pioneer, but Reclaimer fits them more. Anyway, the Vault Dweller from 76. Who is the strongest out of these? The Vault Dweller. The Vault Dweller is a little bundle of joy from the first Fallout game, initially sent out to recover a water chip, and then later sent out again to stop the commander of a super mutant army, the Master, who some would argue is the best antagonist. Upon defeating the Master, either by blowing his ass to Kingdom Come or convincing him that his plan is stupid and he is a big silly, the Vault Dweller saves the wasteland from an army of angry super mutants trying to turn everybody into them. They are kicked out of the vault for being warped and changed by the land above, and they say, fair enough, and they start walking into the waste with a couple of other dwellers to later set up a village called Arroyo. I think I said that right. Also Harold. The Chosen One. The Chosen One is a descendant of the Vault Dweller and raised to become the people's champion. No, not The Rock, this is someone who actually likes people and acts selfless. The Chosen One is sent out to recover the Gek, because the village has devolved into an absolute mess, a big stinky pile, and only the hand of God can save it apparently. It sounds like my hometown. Along their travels, they'll see a glimpse of the Shadow Government, and eventually rustle and tussle with the big bad because they've had a polite conversation with a talking Deathclaw, and they return to their village to see the Shadow Government, Uncle Owen the shit out of their village. Time to take down POTUS. In Minecraft. This tribal unit uses the technology of the Enclave against them.
Where is your power armor?
Dealing a killing blow, or so you'd think, to the organization by taking out their leader, only to encounter the big behemoth that is
Frank Horgan.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Now you can either be an absolute madman and fight him alone, or, what I would consider the canonical ending to this, convince the dude in the other room to help you because, hey yo Enclave, there's a super mutant literally in the other room, what's going on? Well shit son, you're right, let's get that bastard! And boom, no more Horgan. Oil rig explodes and Chosen One rocks the boat. Also Harold, the Lone Wanderer, child of Liam Neeson, grows up in Vault, is bullied until shit goes wild and escapes to find their father, encountering a whole heap of monsters along the way, including Moira. Fuck you, Moira. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. The wasteland is mean, and Lone Wanderer eventually gets morphed by this new world, to the point where even saving the Vault 111 they came from results in them getting kicked out in a tacky replication of the original Fallout story. Good job. They eventually find Liam Pearson and free them from Mad Scientist VR. Don't use VR, kids, that shit dangerous. After what feels like an eternity of Metro goodness, they try to turn on the water purifier, and wouldn't you know it, the Shadow Government again. That's right, the Unclers are back and tougher than ever under the watchful eye of Major Spring. Sorry, wait, no, that's wrong. Colonel Autumn. They are here. Dad dies. Autumn 2. Rads are not cool. Lone Wanderer captured after trying to get the Gek. Oh no. The Lone Wanderer, after seeing Liam Pease himself die because Rads aren't cool, convinces President Edam Cheese life just ain't worth living anymore, and the AI says,
yeah, fuck it,
and blows up Raven Rock. Spreading democracy, the Lone Wanderer teams up with the Brungy Hunks and assaults the Unclers and battles across the wasteland, wresting control of the water purifier from the big bad Shadow Government. Lone Wanderer dies. Or do they? Oh, also Harold. The Courier. Angry Walkie Boy is shot in head until Angry Walkie Boy wakes up and decides to throw hands with entire fucking desert, from giant ants and giant rats to the nightmare fuel on wings. You know, for this reason alone, I'm willing to say the Courier is at the top because they fight Cazadors, and Cazadors are no fucking joke, but we'll continue anyway. Courier tracks down killer Benny, beats the shit out of him with the power of bisexuality. No, I'm not kidding, this is a genuine thing. The Courier is strong AF because they're bi. Read the perks. Anyway, they then get into a freeway with House the Mouse, NCR Superstars, and Sweeping Legion Fairies. Only there's actually an option 4. Smiley face on TV? I'm sold. The Courier takes on 3 armies and wins, claiming control over the wasteland, or they said with House, and still kind of control the wasteland, fighting everything the previous protags have fought and more, aside from Frank Horrigan. But there's Cazadors here, so bite me. Mosquitoes suck. Important thing to note, the Courier also fights Lanius, who have stats that are pretty close to Horrigan in their own way, and that didn't save them from a 50 BMG to the head. Also, Giant Robo-Scorpion is the biggest thing any protagonist has fought, aside from the Ultrasight Titan from 76, and I've killed both of those things with my fists. The Courier is also the only, I believe, protag that's actively cybernetically enhanced, both in the world and in the DLC, with big MT Tech 2, which is the best technology humanity physically has to offer, so the Courier is stacked. They also juggle tunnelers, who are hinted to be a mainline threat, like they're fucking, I don't know, beanbags. Also, now's a good time to bring up the Fallout 3 DLC, and why I didn't really mention it, but I've mentioned the New Vegas one, is because there isn't anything super substantial in the Fallout 3 DLCs, aside from obviously paying for the real ending like I mentioned before. People like to bring up Mothership Zeta, but without like the alien commanders, I'm pretty confident that ship can't fire again, and the whole shooting it once thing was like an Easter egg anyway. There's never any confirmation that the Lone Wanderer has full control over an alien ship, because that would be ridiculous, but if they do, cool. The Courier ends up walking the Mojave once again with TV on legs or wheels or whatever you want, and beats the shit out of the desert. The Sole Survivor. My wife died and my son is a dick.
It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
So I'ma wake up from a 200-year nap and start continuing my war crimes. The Sole Survivor is a soldier veteran who is entered into one of the more safer wastelands, aside from the existence of Cabot maybe. TBH, the old fella got that mind device going on. He could be a god, we'll find out at some point. Anyway, they track down their spouse's killer and absolutely conk their fucking brains out like a goddamn grape. Then end up becoming general of the Minutemen because fuck it, why not, and tussling with the Bruggy hunks. Oh, they're back by the way. They were barely present in New Vegas because they're just like reclusive little rats in Vegas, but they're back and stronger than ever here now, and they're kind of acting more like the Unklers. They also fight the Fail Road and the Poopstitute. Okay, I'm not proud of that one. After beating Kellogg Cornflakes to a pulp, John Fallout finds his son, in quotations, and Sean says Nora was just a bit of collateral damage, oopsie doopsie.
Scum.
Well, maybe Sean is about to experience what hitting a fat collat feels like when I bash his fucking brains in and give him some collateral damage. Shit explodes, and the Sole Survivor walks away a brand new man, not unchained, but more liberated by this new world. They become a detective and investigate the Isle of Man. Sorry, Far Harbor. To stop a cult. No, you discount Valentine, I am not a synth for the last time. They then travel to the wacky wasteland of Nuka World. It's all in good fun. The Reclaimer, Fallout 76. They launch nukes and shoot guns fast. Also fight Scorchbeast Queen, which is top 3 giant antagonists. She a big gal. Also, they're biologically enhanced. They're like a super mutant on drugs. They run fast, they jump fast, they hit hard. They are kind of stacked. They're engineered to be a super soldier. There's not much to say about them in terms of feats, because half the shit they fight just doesn't seem canonical, and the other shit is just like crazy, like aliens. So yeah, the Reclaimer is kind of stacked. Having said that, the Reclaimer can also die to a major gutsy, because balancing in 76 is just weird. There's not much to say, other than the fact that they launch nukes for fun. So here's how my ranking works. At C tier, as much as I love them, I've put the Vault Dweller, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but there isn't anything the Vault Dweller encounters that the other ones don't encounter and kind of walk through. You could argue the Master, but really the Master's just a fucking idiot pretending to be a genius. B tier, I've got the Lone Wanderer. Again, yeah, the Lone Wanderer fights the Enclave, but not alone. They fight them with Liberty Prime, who is online and is spreading democracy, and the Brunky Hugs. So it's a good feat, but it's not a crazy big feat. And also they kind of do what the Lone Wanderer does in convincing the big bad leader that they're dumb and life just ain't worth living anymore, which is a good feat, but in contrast to everything else, not crazy big. Then I've got the Sole Survivor. Look, I love Nate the Rake. The guy's a fucking war criminal. He bops heads, he shoots fucking monsters dead, but there isn't anything in the Boston Wasteland that is incredibly like stacked comparison to the top 3. The Institute maybe, but at the end of the day they're just nerds with robots and Cybermen. So I do think Nate the Rake is strong. He's very strong, but he is just a man running off sheer willpower. The Chosen One is in A tier. I love the Chosen One. Big boy is hench. However, yeah, they take on the Enclave. Yeah, they take on Frank Horrigan. And yeah, they convince the Enclave to beat the shit out of Frank Horrigan, because who fucking wouldn't? They are stacked and they are super duper strong. But the top 2 in S tier, it's just levels. Unfortunately, it's just levels. This becomes less of a game about just feats and who and what they are. So the second place is the Reclaimer. I just shouldn't have to explain this, but I will. Vault 76 is the best of the best, selected of the best to reclaim the wasteland. And holy shit, this fella is like the best of the best. They come out and immediately, like Nate, it's on site and they're throwing hands. They're rebuilding things. They're launching nukes for fun. They're biologically enhanced. They're fucking super soldiers. They jump high and they run fast and they shoot things, right? It's like, it's genuinely crazy. I don't think there's a protagonist below them they couldn't beat in a 1v1. The Chosen One would give them a run for their money, abso-goddamn-lutely, but it's just, unfortunately, with all the serums and mutations the Reclaimer has, it's just levels. And then at the top, probably surprising no one, and I'm absolutely gonna get called a New Vegas Glazer for this, but it's genuinely just facts, is the Courier. The Courier has the sheer willpower of the Sole Survivor. They have the drive and motivation and intelligence of the Vault Dweller, of the Lone Wanderer. They have the strength of the Chosen One, and they're more enhanced than the Reclaimer. The Courier wakes up from being almost lobotomized, actually later on gets lobotomized and still keeps fucking functioning like nothing's wrong. They run off sheer fucking hatred and anger. I swear they're like the John Wick of this universe. But they're also cybernetically enhanced. They have implants. They have like a synthetic spine. They're like what the Institute did with Kellogg, and you know how kind of tough he's supposed to be to take down? That times 10. Big MT technology is fucking crazy. But let's go into feats for a second. Every single DLC seems kinda tame, except for maybe Mothership Zeta, in comparison to what the Courier faces. The Cloud Residue of the Sierra Madre is a top 10 threat in the Wasteland, by the way. The Big MT scientists of Old World Blues, top 10 threat of the Wasteland, by the way. Joshua motherfucking Graham, who is like one of the... I think he might actually be the only character in Fallout history that speech checks the Courier. Right? That's fucking crazy. Yeah? In honest hearts. And then obviously, at the end of it all, the Tunnelers from Lonesome Road, as well as Ulysses. Everything every other protagonist does, the Courier does ramped up to 10. Their feats are a level on their own. Their weaponry, I'd also argue, a level on their own. 50 BMG exists, as well as Ballistic Fist. And they're cybernetically enhanced in a way that I just don't think anybody else comes close to them. I don't think it's as close as people think it is with the others, and I want to put it out there. I love all the Fallouts, right? I love all the protagonists. I think they're all cool, and this list is not to diminish any of their feats. They're all stacked in their own way, but the Reclaimer and the Courier are just on a level that the others can never hope to achieve. So, who is the strongest Fallout protagonist? If it wasn't fairly obvious, it's the Courier, Courier 6. Thank you for watching, everybody. My name is Ninethie. I hope to see you in the next video. Please don't get angry in my comments, and also please don't be spamming Enclave rhetoric. I don't want to see that shit. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.